Good morning, honorable delegates, distinguished chairpersons. This is an analysis of what happened yesterday in our crisis solution in order to follow what happened and how we solve this problem in the United Nations. Me as Secretary General, I called for an urgent meeting to solve the crisis in the Mediterranean between Spain and the United Kingdom of Great Britain in the region of Gibraltar, and of course as Gibraltar autonomy, and also a consequent effect that happened between the Kingdom of Spain and the Kingdom of Morocco in the regions of Ceuta and Melilla. It was 1 in the morning when in the city of Sofia I had to call to the representatives of permanent and non-permanent of the Security Council to solve the first impasse that was between the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the Kingdom of Spain in the territorial sea of Gibraltar that was not defined if it belongs until that moment, if it belongs clearly to the United Kingdom of Great Britain or and Northern Ireland or the Kingdom of Spain or to international miles of seaside. In this case, there was bombed one small boat where 3 fishermen were fishing, using the same word, in this area, where the kingdom they had the nationality from Spain, and the 3 of them died, and as a consequence, previous advices from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland that was standing in the same position that that territory belongs to the UK. We received a claim from the Kingdom of Spain trying to solve the problem in order to define the right of sovereignty of that region by the Kingdom of Spain. Britain and Northern Ireland. In this case, you will be focused in Gibraltar, as you were already taught. So, read again.
Under the authority of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Gibraltar formally warns the Kingdom of Spain of its illegal fishing activities in its maritime territories.
Gibraltar formally warns the Kingdom of Spain of its illegal fishing activities in its maritime territories. The repeated actions are strongly condemned and ultimately will lead to counteractions defending the territorial rights of the independent state of Gibraltar.
Perfect.
Kingdom of Spain is also present.
Of course. Spain's present. Is Morocco present? No, very well.
Morocco is outside for a briefing.
Okay, great. So as far as the situation is, we know that the ship by the Spanish Armada, fishing boat, has been shot down by Gibraltar coast under the supervision, of course, of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and therefore the first and foremost option is we would like to ask that we find some sort of a solution as to not lead to a breakout in any sort of war. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, the situation is urgent.
The delegation strongly denies to offer any kind of apology for this rightful act of self-defense to the Kingdom of Spain that was perpetrated under the internationally recognized principle of defense of national sovereignty. The delegation of the Commonwealth is willing to use the veto power of its leading member, United Kingdom, in case of any further threat to the national sovereignty of the independent territory of Gibraltar, and warns the members of Security Council to refrain from acting in such an irrespectful way towards the Gibraltar sovereignty.
The delegation of the Kingdom of Spain strongly condemns the actions taken by UK and Gibraltar. We firmly believe in protecting our nationals. We firmly believe that the actions was disproportionate, and we believe that any action shall be taken by the Security Council to actually prevent any further escalation. However, Spain cannot confirm nor deny that any action will be taken, as this is an disproportionate attack. We consider this an attack against our nationals, and we consider this an attack against the Kingdom of Spain. Thank you very much.
The Kingdom of Spain has 2 occupied territories in Morocco, the latter being Ceuta and Melilla. The Kingdom of Spain abused the Morocco's tolerance by repeatedly mistreating civilians entering Ceuta and Melilla and further occupying formerly known Moroccan territory. The delegate of the Kingdom of Morocco, as representative of our state, believes that we cannot support these illegal activities and must condemn the Spanish occupation, as it is currently embarrassing the national pride of not only Morocco, but the entire Arabic community in the world. This is why I believe that the current actions of the Kingdom of Spain regarding the Gibraltar crisis have to be resolved and we therefore completely support the intervention of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Thank you for your kind attention.
In the name of our great kingdom and representing the Arab League, we condemn every violation of national border. What just happened in the territory of Gibraltar is extremely concerning our member nations, although despite the fact that the Kingdom of Spain continuously has been warned, it kept on violating the territorial borders of Gibraltar.
Since the era of Gibraltar as such a fundamental rule in world trade, the member countries of OPEC will not tolerate any kind of territorial violations in this area. We urge Spain to stop these violations in Gibraltar's territory and declares that any other violation will not be ignored by OPEC countries. In order to solve this crisis, we invite both UK and Spain to accept the proposal of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela to participate in a summit in Caracas to find an agreement about this extremely urgent topic.
The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, as representative of UNASOL, ALBA and OPEC, has an imperative motivation to finish this conflict fast, as it divides us between our historical ties and the economical ties. We believe that the entire conflict can be resolved tonight in this room, as there are too many things at stake that we all stand to lose in case of a conflict between Spain and UK.
The independent territory of Gibraltar, under the authority of the Crown of the Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, declares that following the repeated violation of its sovereign territory, culminating in the invasion of Spanish troops, the United Kingdom will declare war on the Kingdom of Spain in order to comply with the underogable right to self-defense.
Considering the incapabilities of the United Nations Security Council and further considering the threats of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, we believe that the United Nations Security Council is incapable of solving our disputes. As you have been informed, we have entered the territorial waters of Gibraltar, and furthermore, we're going to pertain an attack against them. Considering the previous said, would like to inform you that the delegate of the Kingdom of Spain, being part of the Royal Army, would have to go and fight for their country. Thank you very much.
Nothing is violated. The question is condemns the armed attack by the Kingdom of Spain on the territory of Gibraltar. So the two latest amendments that were added is first it declares that if any of the parties violate the ceasefire, it shall be considered line of aggression. And finally it condemns the armed attack by the Kingdom of Spain on the territory of Gibraltar and decides to remain very actively seized of the matter.
Yeah. Well, but why we should implement this? We already seen that Spain has already invaded our territory.
We have condemned
because
it.
if we are doing a ceasefire, it is imperative that we have this clause so that the ceasefire does have legitimacy. Because if we don't have that clause, it's just like a suggestion. And it's imperative that both you and Spain really
we are trying to defend our citizens.
Yes, you will not.
The delegates, point of order, the caucus has already ended the time. Therefore, we would like to consider if there's any motion on the floor. We have another 10 minutes left until we want to present and need statement for
Timing, some others go.
Everyone's already the caucus. Any further motions on the floor? No, so we proceed to voting. Those in favor, please raise the package. Very well. Unanimously in favor.
Here is the final point, that we have acceded to this condemnation to be added, and we have also said that if any of them violates self-defense, if you're being under attack, is not a violation. The one that in that case would be violating is the one initiating the attack. I mean,
yeah.
Recognizing the immediate threat to international peace and security, reaffirming its obligation to protect international peace and security. 1. Demands that all relevant parties in the area of Gibraltar immediately cease any or all military actions, regardless of size, scope, or justification. 2. Calls upon the parties to begin negotiations for a peaceful settlement of the dispute within 24 hours. 3. Calls upon the population and authorities of Melita and Ceuta to refrain from any acts of violence and respect the human rights of the populations. 4. Declares that if any of the parties violates the ceasefire in any way, it shall be considered to have committed a crime of aggression. 5. Condemns the armed attack by the Kingdom of Spain on the territory of Gibraltar. Finally, decides to remain very actively seized of the matter. This is the resolution.
Constitutional Secretary General accepts the resolution that will be published in the archives of the United Nations and published and communicated to the whole international community. Thank you so much for your effort. We strongly believe that this document will be in behalf of peace and security of our planet. Thank you so much for your effort and for giving all the time, economy, and hard work for international peace and security. Thank you so much. For me, it's important to say that immediately we started working, and after 3 hours of hard work with all the representatives of the Security Council and many representatives that are doing the same by coincidence, we're working in Sofia in the Human Rights Council. We had to find a solution. We had many testimonies, videos directly led and analyzed by the Security Council. And for me, it's an honor to present what it was, the solution that we presented in the shape of a resolution of the Security Council under the topic of Gibraltar crisis and the consequences in the Kingdom of Morocco. Where the members of the permanent and non-permanent members of the Security Council demands the immediate case of military actions, regardless of size, scope, or justification in the area. Because our role as United Nations and Security Council, as the role, is to stop peace, conflicts, impasses, or battles between nations. And in this case, in behalf of peace and security, we have this resolution. Firstly, we decided, we negotiated, and we had an unanimous point of view, unanimous for first time, an urgent solution. That also, in 24 hours, we had we split the forces, we stopped the fight, and especially the projected giant conflict that was going to be developed in the area. Another important point is that I'm going to read carefully. It calls upon the population and authorities of Melilla and Ceuta to refrain from any acts of violence and respect in the area of human rights and the population connected. And also that in the case of Gibraltar, the United Kingdom of Great Britain took control the area as they did it before, but they had a commitment to stop the violence in the areas of Ceuta and Melilla as well. The Kingdom of Morocco stopped it, and the Security Council declared that if any of the parties violates this ceasefire, it should be considered a crime of aggression. At the end, condemns in general the United Nations and the Security Council condemns the armed attack done by the Kingdom of Spain in the territory of Gibraltar. From this point, or as a consequence of this point called the fifth point, we are waiting until now for an answer of the Kingdom of Spain. That's all, honorable delegates. I hope that we strongly believe that this is a solution in behalf of peace and security, and we will welcome all your perspectives in behalf of peace treaties and for better days for our planet. Thank you so much.